Welcome everybody to another episode of Cruisin the Planet. This week's episode is number 51 because I've been doing this for way too long. I showed Carly the other day, who's currently in the studio along with Shay. Welcome back, Shay. How was your vacation?
It wasn't a vacation.
Shay went on vacation to
Shay left us alone for 2 days.
Malibu.
Yeah.
I don't really know what happened there.
All the way to California. Y'all didn't know it.
Really?
No.
Okay, never mind. Real quick off the top, this week we have an announcement about the video for Friday on our YouTube channel, which you are probably watching this podcast on right now, this live stream. Something called Spotify Charts, for all you Spotify listeners out there. Somebody has been scalping our audio on the Tarleton Radio Network and redistributing it. We don't know who or how. Well, I figured out how. We'll get into that a little bit later. Friday the 13th, tomorrow, there are going to be cheap tattoos, so we're going to get into a little bit of tattoo talk. Other things going on in Tarleton currently: the Chicken House Flea Market happening Saturday and Sunday, the second and fourth weekend of every single month from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Christmas is coming too soon. We can argue about that. There's been a lot of blood drives this month. I don't know if y'all noticed. Also, Tarleton is having 3 things specifically going on that we'll talk about today. The play, Thin Man and the Goofy Groom, that one's a lot of fun. I was able to be a part of the first showing. Really, really enjoyable. There are a ton of resident hall events that y'all can get involved in, and today specifically, if you're listening to this podcast as it comes out, there are a couple of hints for the Oscar P. Twitter Challenge scavenger hunt at Tarleton_TAB. So, let's get into the top of things real quick. Lance did say we need to be out of here by, it's a 45-minute episode. That's the plan.
All right.
Because
we're
bunch
gonna make
of
a short podcast, and tomorrow we're releasing a long video.
Yeah, look at that.
It equaled out.
Mixing it up. So I'm gonna try and blow through a couple of these. If I missed some of these topics that we talked about, come find me.
We mentioned them. Just do your own investigation.
Yeah, do your own investigation, coward. So, the video for the Friday. Shay, have you seen it? The finished version?
I was about to watch it.
No, we were just I was like, did Ethan show you the video? And she was like, no. And I was like, fake. Okay.
Fake? I just got in. Shay's been in Malibu for the last couple days. And look at his shirt, killing it.
You can see my tan, can't you?
Yes. I don't know. Not really paying attention. We were just talking right before the episodes opened up. Is today just tiring?
Today's exhausting.
Everyone's...
But I also had to drive home or drive back here, which is only from Fort Worth. But when you get stopped at every lot in Granbury,
like 2 hours.
Oh, Granbury's the worst.
Because it was right at rush hour. So that 30-minute drive
there's just
turned to
that
another
level
hour.
of construction right by their Love's gas station.
Yeah.
That bridge, you swoop underneath it, and then you just come to a crawl for the next 2 to 4 miles, depending. Ooh, that's why I used to drive through that thing at night.
Yes, Granbury at night's a whole different.
It's another ball game.
No, today sucks. I've decided.
You've chosen?
Yes, because.
All right. Well, we don't need that on the podcast. Nice knowing you. Just pull you out.
No,
Go ahead.
I was getting ready for work, and I was like, okay, I ate food. I gotta go now. And I went to go get my shoes, and my girlfriend had locked her door. My shoes were in my girlfriend's room. Because she was in a job fair. Tarleton had a job fair today. Yeah. So
a virtual one.
Yes, a virtual one. So she's sitting there on Zoom and didn't want me to bust in, But my shoes are in there. I'm not walking over here in socks.
Let me in.
Yeah, and I was like,
socks and sandals?
No.
Okay.
And I
go ahead.
And I went to I was just gonna open the door and basically army crawl to my shoes and get them, so I wasn't in frame. Couldn't do that. And I ran to my roommate and I was like, I don't have shoes. And she was like, what size shoe do you wear? And I was like, 8.5 to 9s. And she was like, nope. And I was like, okay. And I found just these random, I don't even know if these are mine, under my bed. And I put them on, and in the process of putting them on, I popped off an acrylic. It's the most painful experience. I've never had it happen until this morning.
I took all of mine off today before work.
I'm getting them
Same girl,
removed.
never run those.
It happened in the span of 2 minutes of just oh, I'm not gonna have shoes to walk to work in. I found some in my nail. And I was like, Jesus.
That's a lot, bud.
Yeah.
That's quite a lot pretty early on, to be honest. I'm just tired.
Yeah, it's just
I got nothing done this
everybody's
morning.
tired in the office. I walked in and
Just,
hey.
how's everybody? All right, bunch of scallywags. Yeah, so the video this week is about something that very much happened last week on Monday. I think we talked a little bit about it in the podcast
Maybe.
last week about the sandwich board. We find a nice, comfortable conclusion. We had a funny little skit in the end of it. It's shot documentarian style, something we've never really tried before. So if it looks nasty, that's all my fault. You can blame me.
It's experimental.
Find me on Twitter.
Instead of being nasty, just look at it and be like, this is a monument of Charlton Radio's history.
No. See, here's the secret. Okay, Carly, come here.
I'm not listening.
Here's the secret. If they come and argue at us, they get mad. We get engagement, and then we've actually like benefited from the situation.
We've reached toxic YouTuber mindset.
Yeah.
Any contact is good contact.
Any interaction is good.
I'm gonna start making us thumbnails with emojis on them then, cause
No, don't. Don't
red
you
circles
dare.
everywhere.
Oh. Accursed affliction, leave this house.
You hear him?
He's buzzing up in there.
Yeah, he came in through the vent. You didn't see his little fingers? Little. Let's move on. I don't know if y'all have noticed on Twitter, there's a recent account that popped up. I just noticed this, so there could be someone who's just like, this has been out forever, you fool. But Spotify charts. I don't know if you were curious what the most popular music is. I never really look at Billboard. I just get told every Wednesday by Jake,
Yeah.
these are the songs we're removing, these are the songs we are adding, this is up to date. And I'm like, nice, fella, so this must be pretty popular stuff. I hopped onto Spotify charts just to double check and whatnot, and this isn't to undermine Jake in any way. However, Jake, it's all hip-hop, man.
Yeah.
It's all hip-hop, and the one Ariana Grande album that just came out, specifically her song Positions.
I've had that stuck in my head all week, and I haven't listened to that song.
I
We watched the video the other day.
Me and Cher were watching the music video, and I am so upset by one scene in particular
One scene.
where Ariana Grande is in the kitchen making a pizza.
I already understand why
assume-
Ethan's upset about this.
And she takes the dough, gives it a flip in the air, and just catches it with her hand over, closes the fingernails, slaps it to the table, and then it's just both elbows into it.
Ew.
But also, he couldn't move past there was a big bowl of lettuce.
There was a massive bowl of way too much lettuce.
I love when set people are just like, and just put things out on it. Like,
Jeez.
I'm looking at it. I'm gonna notice.
There's
that.
no table space to work on your freaking pizza.
And the
There was no,
This wasn't
no,
floured.
no olive oil. No, there was flour on it. She was working on a little tiny wooden cut board. So this is a Napoleon type pizza, like a Neapolitan, style pizza. Like I assume it's a very simple, no olive oil to be seen, no mozzarella. There was no sauce. The tomatoes were still unprepped.
Hey, there was a half bottle of rosé on the table, so
half a
she
bottle
might
of
have been a
rosé.
little.
No
you
wonder
know.
she was crawling into the oven in the next scene like a psychopath, wearing an entirely lace apron. That is so hard to clean. That is so terrible. My apron is all black so that you can see when it gets dirty, so you know when to get it
I don't
clean.
even wear an apron. Oh, at the restaurant, I get it. Never mind.
No.
Oh.
I wear an apron
in
at
my
home.
personal life.
Yes. I wear an apron in my own apartment, in my giant kitchen where I cook my meals. I want a big griddle for Christmas.
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 The time's now.
Also, Christmas is coming way too soon. Let's jump ahead in the notes real quick.
Yeah, I had called my mom the other day, just
Jingle
asking for
bells.
dates of when we're doing stuff for the holidays.
Uh-huh.
And we were having this entire conversation. I had my phone stolen this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has that
and I was
gotten
like,
resolved by
yes, I
now?
have a phone now. I can be contacted.
Yay.
You but I was like, hey, any updates on my phone? And she was like, oh yeah, it's here. I was like, okay, I would have
Thanks.
liked to have known that. But then, yeah, I was like, cool. And then we had a dead spot in our conversation, and she just goes, so what do you want? I was like, what? You talk to me like that?
For what?
And I was like,
I'm very set up. I have a varied set of skills. What do you need?
Yeah, and I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, well, like, we're gonna do Christmas shopping probably early. And I was like, oh, for Christmas? I thought you were just like being rude to me all of a
What do you
sudden.
want? Why are you calling me?
Yeah, I was like, I can't just call my mom. So yeah, Christmas is upon us because my mom's
Can't just call
shopping.
my mom.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jeez.
I'm getting my mom's present possibly tomorrow, but
Can you tell what it is? Can you tell us and
Did your
all
mom
the
listen to the
listeners?
podcast?
no, she doesn't.
All right.
Air it out.
Spill beans.
She's getting an air fryer. Me and my brother are getting another one. They got a good deal at Walmart for a nice one, so I'm like, and then he's gonna pay me back for his
Nice.
stuff.
Good stuff.
Good child.
I just need new bed sheets. That's all I want for Christmas.
I want a new pillow.
I should get. Put those on my list too. I'm stealing that idea. I'm getting
Have
pillows
it.
now.
My girlfriend constantly roasts me. She's like, your pillows, if you turn them, you can't see them anymore. They're on a like 2D plane. And I'm like, cool, got it. I need new pillows.
You're like, well, it looks like you're not getting my pillows. And they're like, now they're gone. Here's your pillow. Now it's everywhere.
It's basically where they're at. I need new pillows
Your
back.
pillow's made of ash. Yeah, I need new pillows and new bed sheets.
I
just
do like the
because they're worn
transition of like your childhood Christmas list and like
Yeah.
what you want now. Like my mom being like, "What do you want?" I'm like, I could do like a vacuum, and, like this and this.
Right,
you know?
it's a slow thing because I still want a lightsaber and I still want to be Spider-Man, but also when I'm not Spider-Man or Luke Skywalker, I could really do with like some good throw pillows or a nice
Yeah.
weighted blanket.
Yes.
That'd be good. It'd be really comfortable. My
What is it?
goodness.
November 12th?
Today is the 12th.
We're gonna be talking about Christmas for a while then.
Yeah.
Yes. However, we've already been warned by Cole that next week. Let's see. When's the 20th?
Oh yes, this conversation.
So we came up with a fun idea for a video. We have exactly a week to get that done.
We're gonna do it.
That's next week's video. Oh, jeez. It's not next week's video because we already have next week's video, but
It's being filmed next week.
it's going to have to be filmed starting Monday.
For anybody upset that we're talking about,
because of Thanksgiving.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody upset that we're talking about Christmas in November? Across from us in the little audio production studio,
Mm-hmm.
they always draw on their calendar. It's just Thanksgiving and 2 little fat turkeys.
Two real fat turkeys.
But they are expertly drawn.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they're good. Don't worry, we have a little bit of it, but we have 1 week before Cole starts putting Christmas decorations everywhere.
Yeah.
We
Lance gave her
were
the okay.
straight
She
up
was like, I
warned.
could start decorating. That's what she told
Yeah.
us.
And then I walked into the dollar store. Was already full. It has an entire wall.
Oh my God,
I walked
yeah.
into the dollar store 2 nights ago, and I was just like, oh, well, I'm here to get myself some dollar store cheese. And it's delicious, by the way.
Yes.
And then I look over, and I was just like,
On Halloween, I went to
An
like
omen.
get candy, and it was like,
I know.
there's Christmas stuff. We have
Yeah,
like
it was like a little
set up.
table.
Yeah, and I was like, what?
and then I looked over just 2 days ago. It's just floor to ceiling. That's not how that works. Floor to ceiling. Podcast listeners, I put the floor on the roof. All right, don't worry about it. Floor to ceiling tinsel for like 10 feet
Yes.
alone. Then it moved on to little ugly Santas and like farther down. I'm just saying, man, we've strayed too far.
The way.
My roommate's already decorated our dorm.
Oh my God.
Sounds like you're about to lose a roommate, bud. It's not that I don't enjoy the season of giving and like Christmas spirit, but like chill out.
Let Thanksgiving
Breathe.
have its day.
Yeah, like it was literally like Halloween happened. The next day, Mariah Carey's songs started getting rolled up.
There's one radio
what I mean?
station that I usually listen to in driving.
Time to name it shame. Go ahead.
I just know the number 102.1.
Anyways,
All they've been playing is Christmas music.
what?
And I'm like,
Is.
no.
I get it. Thanksgiving isn't like the most
There's not like Thanksgiving
enjoyable.
songs.
Well, not even that. Thanksgiving isn't the most enjoyable.
There is a Charlie Brown, so therefore, it should be first before Christmas.
Well, like taking into historical context, Thanksgiving isn't the best holiday in
Yeah,
the
that's-
world.
my
so
family
I
doesn't, like,
understand.
Celebrate.
I understand
Or
not.
just eat.
I understand being like, we get a weekend, extra long weekend. Let's just spend it with each other. We're just gonna make the best out of this. However, just washing it over entirely with like Santa Claus Coca-Cola, not the move.
Yeah.
Corporations don't get that much control of my free time.
A Christmas tree should not be put up until after
November.
Yes.
October is when it
Thanksgiving.
starts. That's when it cold rolls in. My November should be candle season.
Yes.
Too bad it's like 70 and 80 degrees outside.
It was oddly warm today. That's another thing. What? Ugh.
I mean, do you want to get into climate change? I don't have it on the notes, but we can start. So,
We'd go over our
hey, let me
amount
stand
of
up.
time.
Climate change 101, people. No, that's gonna make us all sad.
Yeah, today's sad enough. Please. I'm tired, Ethan. Don't want to talk about it.
Well, if you need to make a bit of a change in your community, you can give your blood away.
You got too much of it, buddy. Quit being selfish. Ethan's hollow. It's a bad example.
I've had bad experiences with giving blood, therefore I'm not going to do it.
Bad experiences. I love how
Ethan's
Shay
hollow.
just glosses over things sometimes.
Yeah, Shay, just like, yeah, I've killed a man back in '92.
Yeah, well, we're like, yeah, he's sleeping. And she goes, yeah, I sleep like every once in a while. And I'm like, what? Like, what does that mean?
Hey, Shay, you're gonna have to elaborate that bad experience with blood, all right?
Yes.
Okay, so giving blood and also like, you know when you're at the doctor and have to take blood, they all take it out of your arm.
Yeah.
Well, they have all told me you have teeny tiny little veins.
You have,
Like
you
that.
have hair with
They,
baby veins.
Yeah.
they call them spider veins.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Why would they name it
because
that?
they're
Look like
small.
spider webs.
Got spiders in me. Like, ugh.
Anyway,
Oh, that'd
so
be sick
when
as hell. Never mind.
so when they poked me, they
just
have a
didn't
hard
bleed?
time. They have a hard time finding a vein.
Bloodless.
Oh no, there was one time I didn't start bleeding.
Okay.
They
Wait
told
a
me I
minute.
was
Wait, you can be stabbed and not bleed?
They're just stabbing Shay for fun
They
at that point.
they told me I was dehydrated, which makes sense. So
Which makes sense. See, she
Yeah.
just did it again.
I was sick.
Oh, okay.
I was like really bad sick. But anyway, in high school, they make you give blood to get, you know, those red cords
Yes.
that you have to graduate with.
Yeah.
So I was fine the first 2 times I did it. It was good. The last time, like a week before I graduated, I had to give it. I drink my water. I'm eating a snack. Like I'm like, nothing bad's gonna happen to me. I'm ready.
I've prepared as much as I can.
So I'm sitting there waiting, and she finally does it, and I don't bleed. And she's just kind of looking at me like, oh. So she
Sand poured into the jar? Like,
It's just black liquid filling up the syringe.
so she
Shay is made out
she
of
moves-
pure evil.
she moves it around. And have y'all ever had it
Ew!
giving blood and like they maybe not get the vein perfectly, so they kind of move it around better?
No.
No, and I hate.
Anyway,
I've literally never.
I hate needles and I
I've-
hate medical
Same,
anything,
like,
so this is
I've never had a
horrifying.
day off to be able to give blood, but I have so much to give. Look at these beefcake arms.
well,
I have the opposite of spider veins.
anyway.
Got gorilla veins.
So anyway, she gets this guy, and then he like tries to, and he pulls it halfway, and he says, "Take a deep breath." And before I can do it, he shoves it up my arm, and I'm like,
What?
I start bleeding.
I
But-
hate it.
Yeah, they just like take a saw to your arm and cut a jar underneath
then all of a
it?
sudden
What in the world
They
is
put a
going
tap
on?
like she's a maple.
I start seeing black spots, and my friend's like, "Shay, you're turning white." I'm like, "Huh." I
You're
don't.
being murdered.
Guy walks in with a spike and a mallet, and he's like,
I
"All right, hold
don't-
still. This is gonna hurt a
Take a
little."
deep breath.
I don't pass out, but when I get done, I have to like they lean me back in the chair and everything. And then finally, so I walked over to my teacher who was sitting there, and this is like lunchtime now. And I'm sitting there, and I start feeling better, but then I like kind of get up to like go sit with my friends,
Oh my
and it don't work. So I had to
goodness.
sit down. And, like I call my mom, and like, "You're gonna have to come get me.
You got... Mom, get me
I
up.
can't even drive back."
I don't have an arm, mother. Please.
And they took it off.
Pick me up, mother. I'm in monochrome.
So then I have to go tell my teacher who I was going to go to class after lunch, which I leave after that class period anyway.
Oh, this is like senior year when they
Yeah.
get that reduced high school.
Yeah,
that
you
was
don't-
the best.
It was
Right.
it
So I
was
could start
yearbook
working.
too. We were done with the yearbook, So I was like, I gotta go, and I'm still watching. She's like, yeah, you can go. I won't count your absence.
She just
go.
watched this. She's like, oh my god, how are you alive?
She
Please
walks
go.
in like a World War II vet, just like.
And my mom, she's
taking
like,
fire.
go lay down. I'll get you something to eat. And I'm still like, what? But yeah, had the big hole in my arm.
Like a character from the Addams Family.
Yeah.
I hate that the lady was like, we're gonna have to move this. Bring in the guy. And he just comes over and is like, take a
Yeah, he was like, take a deep breath.
Assassinates you.
And you know, those needles aren't small. Like the ones they like take your blood with when you're sick
I hate it.
are smaller.
This is the
But
good
the
content.
one they like actually when you have to give blood are thicker.
Mm.
Yeah, and I don't do needles.
I hate them. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
All right.
Yeah.
So that was Shay's terrible story about blood drives. We'll have to get Shay back on for even more fun stuff because
Yay.
Shay's just unfazed, just like, yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
Back to-
mean,
I
It's
don't
in
care.
the past. It's in the past.
It's in the past.
Have y'all heard the play?
I
we
know
want to
the
move
name
on to Tarleton stuff. I'm
I
like
know the
working my
name
way
of
down. all the
it, but
things.
that's about it.
It's called Adventures of the Thin Man and the Goofy Groom.
Was it good?
It's great. I really enjoyed it. It's a literal radio drama.
Ooh.
The play has people sitting in front of mics, talking about what they're doing, going to like perform stuff, and they have a full-on real-life Foley guy. Just
Are you serious?
slamming doors and like running zippers up against the mic and like shaking boxes and like slapping
Doing Foley.
yeah, doing full-on live Foley work for this thing because it's a play that is put on like it's a radio show.
I love that.
And then we actually aired it over the radio. So it's like a radio show, but it's a play, but it's a radio drama.
being aired on
That
the
is
radio.
Being aired on the
as hell.
oh my goodness, isn't it great? I was just sitting there just like, yeah. And then there's the story is even incredibly like in depth. There's a hitman, turns out it's a hit woman,
Oh.
but then there's another hitman, but then that hitman is killed by a hit woman.
A Mr. and Mrs.
maybe?
Smith type situation?
No.
No.
Love is involved.
Not anymore.
Stuck. As soon as she walked in, I knew I'd take the case.
Yeah.
Oh man, it is. Woo, it is. Woo,
Wasn't there
It's spicy.
like
spicy indeed.
Spicy.
Spicy.
this radio show did like a performance on air, but people didn't know it was a performance and they thought like the world was being taken over by aliens or something?
Are you talking about the dramatic 2-hour rereading of War of the Worlds that caused the entirety of the FCC to exist?
I believe so. I just remember vaguely reading about that and I think it's real funny. Probably wasn't funny at the time, but looking back being like, what idiots. Like I wouldn't have lost my mind if I was there.
Should have known better.
I'm pulling up the stats so I can spit facts for 1 second. Here's the Wikipedia article.
Wikipedia.
It was put on by CBS Radio. It had a
Yes.
running time of 60 minutes. It was a radio drama and science fiction hosted by the Mercury Theater on the air. This was Orson Welles, one of his amazing debuts that he performed, along with Frank Readick, Kenny Dalmar, and Ray Collins. The second half of the show shifts to a conventional radio drama format and follows a survivor, played by Wells, dealing with the aftermath of the invasion and the ongoing Martian occupation of Earth. Rel's broadcast became famous for supposedly tricking some of its listeners into believing that the Martian invasion was actually taking place due to the breaking news style of storytelling involved in the first half of the show.
It's so
The
funny.
illusion of realism was further because the Mercury Theater on Air was a sustaining program without commercial interruptions. No breaks.
Dude, that's so funny to me.
The
I don't know why.
first break in the drama was 35 minutes after the induction, right after the Martian war machine was described devastating New York City. Popular legends holds that some of the radio audience may have been listening to a show beforehand called The Chase and Sanborn Hour with Edgar Bergen and turned into the War of the Worlds during the musical interlude, hereby missing the clear introduction indicating that the show was in fact a drama.
Yeah, so
Breaking
imagine
news.
you just
So
like
what-
flip over and it's like, there's aliens
Yeah.
in New York.
New York is on fire!
Yeah.
Everyone, that is...
Yeah, and
And then it just flips over to, that was Everyone take off your hats. That was John Malick. You're listening to NBC Tonight.
What?
Yes. It was so...
There are aliens flying over my house.
Yeah.
The days after the adaptation, widespread outrage was expressed in the media, and the program's news bulletin format was described as deceptive by some newspapers and public figures, leading to an outcry against the broadcasters and calls for regulation by the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC. Quite literally, they did a radio drama so well.
Yeah.
They did a horror and science fiction so well that regulations came into pass such that it'll never be that good again.
We were having a conversation about this of like, when you see a sign, there's a story behind it, and you would not look at like the FCC stuff we have around the station and be like,
something.
oh, like, of course we have to be regulated. You won't never think to trace that back to these guys just acting real good.
We did this because, you know, people thought they were aliens.
Yeah. I like how the people were just like, you tricked us.
You were dumb enough to believe it.
Yeah, like,
Stinky.
ruh-roh.
What a beautiful, beautiful play, though. Orson Welles.
Mhm.
I think I was told the other day, I don't know if it was this guy. Need an image of this fool.
Just not here to defend himself.
Take a peek at that.
Are you saying y'all are twins?
Let me.
I see it.
Oh my God, Ethan. Who told you that?
In a
Who
few
said that to you?
in a few years.
This old guy, this kid I worked with. Shave off all that.
Why are they right?
Shave off all that facial hair. Comb the hair back.
Put a tie.
That's my boy.
Hey, that's a quick Halloween costume. Go around.
Go
I'm
black
Orson
and white.
Welles. Yeah.
Just go black and white. Just howdy, everyone. You ever hit a cabbage with a claw hammer? It was one of his. Never mind.
Giggle.
That was one of his best effects, was to create a head splitting.
Yes, but just the way of introducing yourself with that. We're moving right into it.
Howdy, boys. You ever hit a cabbage with a claw hammer? I don't think so.
I can't say that I have. And then it's just
Not yet.
Maybe that's why I have
Yes.
a calling for radio. I'm the new Orson Welles. When did he die?
On your
we're going into a resurrection theory.
Yeah, basically. Give me a sec. Let's
Casual.
see. Orson Welles' death. October 10th, 1985.
That's my birthday.
Wow. You
I
killed
don't
him. Borth.
I mean, I wasn't born.
Ah, that's too close to my birthday. Boop. Close that. Close that. He was born May 6th, 10 days before me. So technically, he's older than me.
Oh.
It's just so many things.
Oh, when's your birthday?
October 10th.
October 10th? My birthday's May, so my birthday's before you, so I'm older than you.
Yes.
Also, aren't
But
you
also, when were you born? Like, what year?
May 16th.
No.
year?
1999.
May 16th.
And I was born
You just-
2000. This fool died in, like, whatever year.
Like 58.
Yeah.
His
There's
birth-
so many reasons he's older than you.
Nah, man.
Oh, his
Shay, when's your
birthday.
birthday?
September 12th, 2000.
September? See, my birthday's before yours. So I'm older than you.
Yeah, also by like a year.
No, just a couple months.
Oh, that's fine.
May to September. Easy. Lance is older than all of us.
Oh,
But
was he
only
born
by a few
January?
months.
Like, it's the only way he can be older than us. Kirk. Kirk just peeked his little head in.
Oh, does Kirk need us? What's good? What's good?
He's wanting.
Hello, Rissa.
We got him in a fighting spirit due to last week's video.
What?
They're just ready to throw down.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Anytime we open the door, they're like, let's go.
They think an alien's gonna fly in. Yeah, I guess. That's what you get whenever you work in a hostile place like this.
We're not hostile. He just has pent up rage.
Speaking of I think it's because we bully him too much off screen in the camera. Carly got images of it where I was just karate chopping him.
Yeah, every time I'm like setting up a scene, Ethan's like, you want me to and just starts punching alien, and I'm like, not particularly.
No.
It's just a balloon, man.
He's more than that to me.
I brought him into this world. I'll take him out. Whoever it is that is using MMF FF
Take your time.
MPEG to scalp our audio and like mucks it away into a massive download format. Please stop.
Yeah.
You're scaring me.
Ethan was
I walked
showing
into
me...
the station the other day looking
Yeah.
at downloads and statistics to be like, how are we doing? Is there anything, casual director stuff over on this end? And I just see we have 255 downloads in one day. And I go, that's literally never happened. Ever.
Until now.
It's hilarious because he pulled up Spreaker and he was like, let's go to the analytics. And then I saw it was like, huge spike and then straight back down. And I was like, what's that? And he goes, oh, this. And went further into it. You could see like they downloaded all
Everything.
of anything
Yes.
we've ever put out.
Everything off of Tarleton Radio Network's feed.
They love those T for Texas, it seems.
They do love
Can't get
them.
enough of that Ethan Miller and T for Texas. Give me that.
Can't get enough of it. What am I saying? Diversity dialogue? Whoop.
Making space.
Making space. On politics. On politics with Eric Morrow.
They did download every single thing.
They downloaded one version of every single thing using a very well-known command line based library. What I'm assuming is that all of our episodes are being used for like speed tests with the downloads.
Or we have a super fan.
Or we have ourselves a super fan, or we have a scalper. Like one of the three. One of them's upsetting. One of them is like great. One of them is bad because that's redistribution of our work.
We're
Is there a
gonna
way we
believe
can
a super
find
fan.
that?
No,
Cool.
it just melts away.
Well, let's say it's a super fan to make us feel better.
It's a super fan. Interact with us on Twitter and Instagram. Let us know why you've downloaded everything all in one day.
Send us a chat.
absolute
We'll chat
fan.
you back.
Yeah.
Yeah, hop in this.
We'll send our friends over. It's just the cop.
Taylor, January 7th. Taylor is the oldest person in the office.
She's just so old.
So old. It's a grandma.
Grandmama Taylor.
I don't know how long the delay is, so I'm waiting for her to hear
It's
it. and look
normally
up.
like 5 seconds.
All right.
She's not even on
Big
it anymore.
now she already hopped off probably. Let's see. Quit scalping our audio, please and thank you. Unless you're actually listening to the episodes, then please and thank you. Y'all ever done a scavenger hunt over Twitter?
No.
No.
Me neither.
Are we about to do one?
Oscar P. Here, let's go. Oscar P. Twitter.
I
Twitter.com.
thought you were just about to be like, me neither. Just cut us out.
Just finish it off. No, at Tarleton
Are the YouTube people doing it with
_
us?
TAB.
Can they see what we're seeing?
Oh my goodness, I'll get you not.
You're welcome, YouTube people.
The YouTube people are trash. Get out of here.
That's your fans.
There goes half our viewers.
At Tarleton _ TAB is having a. Yep, there it is.
He's just standing there, just.
I thought he was yellow.
I got what you need. That's the dance Shay was trying to get me to do last week.
Oh yeah. Oh, that one.
That last part, that's easy, but
I was like, yeah, I can do that. I could
I
just
knew
stand there and
that.
then do that part for you.
Oh man, they're getting more Twitter interactions than we are. I hate it here.
They put on every single thing that goes on around campus.
This is true.
excuse me, we looked the other day. Our Twitter interactions have gone skyrocketed over the past few months.
Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No.
And who is it from, Shay?
Who's it from?
Who's causing it all to skyrocket?
Me and Carly.
There we go.
No. If it's Twitter, it's just Shay.
It's Twitter.
It's just Shay.
I'm the Instagram. Let's see. Supposedly, it's happening today.
What do you have to do?
Are we getting sued if we say it's happening today? Because you're like, supposedly.
I said I gave ourselves reasonable doubt.
Okay. Just checking.
Also, I don't know why the Tarleton Activities Board would come and sue us. They literally couldn't even lay a hand on me. I'm such an absolute fucking unit.
Are you gonna
Would-
fight Mama T?
Actually, no, never mind.
Yeah, see, they have Mama T. She's just gonna come out and be like, "Can you?" And you're like, "Anything you need." I'm so sorry for troubling you.
I'm terribly, terribly
Please
sorry.
forgive me.
Yeah.
Please, please. And just
So-
hand her a keyblade.
What do we have to do for a scavenger hunt?
They are going to be releasing information regarding finding a couple of little ducks that are like out around
Rubber ducks?
campus. Yes.
Better get Cole on that.
Yeah.
She brought this up. One of our ideas is
Yeah.
like the digital media drive's like a little bit cursed or whatever. And she was like, "Oh, so you can curse the digital media drive, but
not
you
a
can't
duck."
curse a duck." And I was like, "Cole, supply me rubber ducks and I would do something for you." Like,
Cole is asking so much all the time, isn't she? She was just like, too much violence in the videos. And I was like, all right, I fixed it. And she was like, I don't know, man. Still a lot of violence. And I was like, you're not my dad. Now she's like, you can't curse a duck. And I was like, alrighty, if you're gonna start pulling, what was it? You're gonna start pulling rank. I'll start pulling out the Frenchman.
yes.
Just looked up images of guillotines. We're the worst co-workers ever.
Oh yeah.
It was all yesterday, Shay. You would have loved it.
Oh, I probably would.
Mm-hmm.
The entire last podcast,
violent.
watching it back with my roommate, she was like, "Y'all are just bullying each other." It's a good episode, but this is all this is. And I
Just
was like,
rude.
"That's friendship." And then
Friends.
friends.
how friends work. Bye. Jeez.
If I'm
We
being,
just killed one of
if I'm
us.
being nice to you, you should feel worried.
Unless you're at one of our events, we're gonna be.
If I'm nice to you.
Everybody with anxiety is gonna meet Shay and be like, "Oh my god, she's smiling. What does that mean?"
It's like that one episode off of the Justice League TV series when Batman's like being nice for the first time
Ew.
to Deadshot,
What is
and he's just
this?
like,
I hate it.
"Here, have a coffee." Mmm.
Except Batman's Bruce Wayne just here, have a coffee.
No, but it's just like, I hear it's refreshing, and he's like, "Get that away from me! What is it,
Yes,
poison?" And he's like,
poison.
"No, just a coffee." Meanwhile, Superman's trying to be like, jeez, I'll have to show it to y'all after this show. It's really funny, but he's just like,
Ew. I hate it. I'm imagining Batman just doing that, and it's like
smiling,
yes,
smiling.
smiling and handing me something. I'm like, ugh.
Ugh, no, thank you.
There's just Carly being uncomfortable in this episode. 'Cause Shay's like, and then a huge needle went up my vein, and I'm like, oh my god.
This is where Carly puts in her 2 weeks.
I'm like,
I mean,
"Let me see."
one technically went in through my belly button, but now I got a ring in there, so it's fine.
Oh, yeah, just a piercing.
Never mind, we're not unpacking that. I
I
don't want
mean-
to know.
What?
Don't worry, my adrenaline was running so bad and so much, I was so freaking out, I didn't even feel it.
That's good at least.
Yeah, I'm happy about that.
I wasn't worried, but now I'm concerned that happens.
I'm constantly worried, but I'm a little more worried now.
Oh yeah, I gotta start going to that on-campus therapy. We were talking about that over the weekend, actually.
Yeah, the 50th episode we talked about Ethan like having a life and like having time outside of
Yeah.
his jobs to
Yeah.
do the accounting era.
One of the first things that because Carly and I were at the,
The farmer's market.
thank you, where I couldn't purchase that jar of honey.
I'm giving you some. We bought some.
No, you earned it.
No.
Anyways,
We're just having a girlfriend. I've earned it.
honey.
Honey.
We were talking about like, what are you gonna do when you get free time, Ethan? I was like, well, one day I was talking to Cole while walking out of the station, and I turned to Cole and said, Cole, do you have a sad life? And they, no joke, responded to me like this. I think you're handling it pretty well.
What is that? What is that?
So you're saying yes?
That's like worse than yes.
So for a while I've been thinking like maybe I should like I'll do a remedial check, just a little bit of paperwork to be like, hey, am I okay?
Yeah,
Because I work constantly.
I brought
and
up-
it bears down on me.
going
Have a
to therapy.
breakdown.
I brought up going to therapy, and Ethan was like, "On campus therapy free?" I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, you can do that now. Yes, let's go to therapy."
You can do that, brother.
And then for the rest of the day, because we were there from 9 to 12, Ethan would just say something outlandish to me, and I'd be like, we're
Bro.
looking into therapy. Like,
So just one story of like, yeah, at like 12 years old, I pulled a man out of a lake using an inner tube, and Carly was just like,
therapy.
Hey, one of my textbooks has all different types of therapy they talk about. I can give it. Well, you can only have it for a few more weeks. It's rented. I gotta give it back.
Cheg's about to come bust down Shay's door if
Cheg's
you keep that too long.
Yeah.
Amazon.
Oh, Jeff Bezos is gonna kill Shay.
Just a bunch of bees are like at the scene of the crime, and we're like, these are normal bees. These are robot bees.
You hear of Shaynalia found dead by Amazon boxes in Deeport, Texas. You know what happened?
I'm like checking the news, scared.
You don't come into work after Thanksgiving. You start getting real worried. You're like, no, guys, I'm just back in Fort Worth.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I don't live in Fort Worth. But
That's why we get worried.
I'm just in
We're like-
Fort Worth. No, you are not. You shouldn't be.
Do not fret, brethren. For I am but a fortnight away. Yours truly, Shay.
Heifers. He keeps trying to use Shay's word, and it's like just sneaking
It knows
words in.
one word from you, so it's like
Good evening,
Have you ever-
Heifers.
Okay.
I tasted that to
goodness.
y'all the other day.
It brought us
Yeah.
great joy.
We were just like, Shay, we miss you. We were showing part of the video, and Shay just straight up returned, miss you too, heifers.
With the filter where it makes like your lips, your entire face, she was like, miss you too, Heifers. And we were like, oh my god.
Shay's just as bad as all of us. Just really good at hiding it. That's all I think. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Oh, speaking of Shay as a word, that's gonna be
Word?
my segue into what I'm about to say.
Go ahead.
Word.
My roommate, when we were watching last week's episode, when we introduced ourselves, she goes, you guys have to put and. It has to go Carly and Shay.
Uh-huh.
I was like, why? Like, what? Mind your business. And then she pulled up.
Carly Shay from iCarly.
She was like, iCarly, first and last name. And it said Carly Shay. And she goes, rewind it, listen. And I go, Carly. And Shay goes, Shay. And I was like, we just summoned her. Like,
So you're telling me that iCarly from like 2013 television series from Nickelodeon is currently roaming the campus in search of us?
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it follows. She's slowly gonna
Oh.
come walking through the parking lot. And I'm gonna be like, Shay, we gotta go.
Miranda Cosgrove. We see her. Run.
Love that.
Sparks
Finally
fly
a fan.
like electricity. She made music.
I see how it is. Just.
Shay, say some stuff that's gonna get us kicked off the podcast real quick.
I think he already has kicked us off.
Listeners, viewers, we come to a close on this here episode. If you showed up late or wish to revisit us, quiet. You can find this show on our YouTube channel, Tarleton Radio, as a video, or listen in on iTunes, Spotify, or anywhere you get podcasts. For updates about the show and other interesting things we make here at the station, follow us on all the links in the description. This has been your episode of Cruisin the Planet, where you can find something to do in and around Stephenville every week. Go find those little ducks, head over to the Chicken Shack, or get a tattoo tomorrow. It's Friday the 13th, tattoos and whatnot. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to recommend us to your friends, and or have any questions or suggestions, ask them in the comments or as a review of the show if you happen to be able to do so. If you guys want to say goodbye?
Please. Bye.
Goodbye, dear listeners.
Bye.
No.
Quit scalping our audio.
Quit scalping the audio. Bye, everybody.